Hello, everyone. Okay, I have been I've been I have been exercising, and my goal is 550 calories. Ah, oh, I'm gonna smoke a joint. Hello, everyone. Today we will be talking about 2010 and Harry Potter. What do they have in similarities? That's what we will be talking about, the similarities of them. Yeah, two separate things, two different timelines, too. Two separate timelines. So, yeah, paid off another bill, my storage. So I'm all caught up in that. Yeah. So I'm just slowly paying bills off. So, how's everyone doing? We are talking the difference between 2010 and Harry Potter HP. What do you think about them? They got two different worlds, but what was the difference? The same similarities between the two. The two is Harry Potter was reborn, and so was Dave. Dave was reborn, and those are one of the similarities, the similarity of things changing. They're not going to be the same ever again. That's going to happen. So we're talking about the similarities between 2010 and Harry Potter. 2010, Dave, he reborn. Harry Potter, he died and came back to fight another little battle and win. And then you have how the similarities, how you feel that people who you trusted in the movie, it shows how he had trusted certain people that he didn't trust. It's the same thing. Think of the computer, Hal and Dave. They didn't trust anybody. So here you have a thing. It's like, is it like a formula? No. But those two movies have the same message in it. What message does it have? Well, in the end of things, you're going to be reborn, and you're going to have a whole different look. Nothing's going to be ever the same again. Look how 2010, nothing's ever the same again. There's literally Dave is reborn. Okay, think how Dave is reborn, and then think how Harry Potter is reborn. Hmm. And then you think of the two sons and stuff. Does that correlate with, it's just like having two sons, two eyes, two eyes. Maybe you're going to see instead of with one eye, two. And they also talk about when you're dealing with the Harry Potter series, you're dealing with the thing is that scared the church so bad wasn't the fact that it talked about witchcraft. That they didn't even talk about that in anything. They talked about how wrong it was to almost think for yourself. They worded it all different, but I knew what it was. I'm sitting in the back pew going, oh boy, you're like saying, yeah, we want you to come here and tell us your problems. You got to give your tethering. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I've done that before. Mhm. And then they talked about how evil it was. They didn't say why it was evil. They didn't say witches, spells, and stuff. They just thought it was evil. And that opens up a lot for me. Now, 2010 was not the movie that it was called 2001, came out in 2000, and it came out in the 70s, and it had its own personal thing where people were reading between it then. Yeah, I think Kubrick put a lot of symbolism in there, and I don't think he was a Catholic or a Christian. Let's just put it this way, I think there's a lot of symbolism. You wanna watch something, you could do it on YouTube here. You could do 2010. That's where I watched my one. I was like, "Hey, I'll just go watch it. Let me go see." I'm kinda, like, curious because it was showing on my movie things without any, commercials, so I'm like, "Okay, I'll give it a little whirl," and I did. I gave it a little whirl, and I'm looking at, I'm like, "Now I get it." Now I get, aha, you get that aha moment. That was a long time ago. It was last year I got the aha moment, and I'm like, now I know why my dad made such a big deal about number one and two. He actually asked, "Oh, did you see it?" Yeah, I did. Yeah. It wasn't like I called up and said, "I'm changed, Dad." Oh my God. No, he wishes though. I really do. I really think that my dad was hoping it would be a life-changing thing for me and I would change. So anyway, I had a real busy day. I went and paid a bill. I'm happy, get caught up on my storage. I had last week I went and did my taxes and bada boom, bada bing. There you go. I'm going to pay off, got my hair cut, feel all fancy, get my hair cut. Yeah. So anyway, I also, went and of course, ran some errands and I always feel really good afterwards. Before I go though, a lot of times I get up really early in the morning. I'll do my exercises and all that. I did, and I also cleaned my bathroom, made sure it's all tidy whitey and ready. And I burned over 550 calories. I think it was 575, something like that. Anyway, yeah. Let me look at exactly how many calories did I burn on Better Me Up. That's what I did. I burned 559 calories on Better Me. And I had to because my watch quit working. I had to deal with my insurance. So I was like, oh my God. Finally got it done. Got my insurance done and I'm happy. So I am going to wait and see what they say with the assurance insurance. It's been over a year, so I don't know. I might end up being without a smart watch for a bit. So yeah, I've been doing my exercises. I'm so proud of myself. Just I have this exercise for you ladies or men. It's really good. Now, a lot of people do it in front of a door, but if I did that, my cat would get out and it just would be crazy weird. So you go like this. The front one helps take care of all your stuff here. And then when you go back like this, it helps take care of this. So if you do it 4 times per side, but you take turns and you do it that way, and then what it is, you give it you do it for a full minute forward and a full minute backwards, but in between the minutes, you have a minute of rest, which I could do it with 30 seconds, to be honest. Well, anyway, yeah, that's what I've been doing. See, it takes care of your flubbers, on the end there. So it looks so nice. Yeah, so I walked outside for an hour today I got some sun. Get some sun out there so I'm not too white. So, yeah, that's one of the differences or the similarities. Another similarity with the two movies is you have one person who feels alone or different, which was Dave. And then he had, the computer, the AI, and that was his special thing. They had something that they connected to with Harry Potter. I would say that would be the magical world, and with Dave, that would be the AI that he had to deal with. Then you have other similarities where you think, well, what did Kubrick really, especially in 2000, when he made his original movie, what do you think he had to say about it? And why did he put it out the way he did? Like where it wasn't an ending, where it would have to be ended somewhere else. I would say that even Kubrick, who didn't do like a whole bunch of movies, there was more than one movie. They had that in similarity. A lot of people had even churches had stuff to say about Kubrick. There were some people I would say, in the religious thing that did not like Kubrick, and anything Kubrick put out, they would say it was evil or whatever. And my dad thought, wow, just like me, he goes, when you have a bunch of churches, not just one or two, you got like 10, 20 churches going, yeah, they're evil. My dad said what he thought was amazing is how Kubrick put out his message that you could read between the lines. Kubrick puts shit out that you could read between the lines. They are right about that. Oh, yeah. Because my dad used to talk about it essentially a lot. And I used to sit there and go, well, I don't know. So I started rewatching a lot of Kubrick stuff, including Stephen King's movie, in which Stephen King said he was so unhappy with it. He really was. He did not like how Kubrick made everything. But if you look at it, Kubrick's not even putting a message out. He's putting a message out about the moon landing. It's all on there. I mean, a lot of people thought it was funny because it was soon after. If you think when they made that movie was soon after the moon landing, I'm just putting it out there. A lot of Kubrick's work was what you call meticulous, and you had to read between the lines with him. It's one of those things. Let's just go read between them lines. So let's make a joint. Do, 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 do. My cat loves to knock everything down, so I've been putting it off under here. Then my cat got real smart, went over and was going like trying to get aerobatic and stuff. So went over on the other side, and this it was trying to like get. I go, you gotta be joking! You're trying to scoot the stuff way underneath. Oh, that's cute. So yeah, my cat's been a little stinker, but it is what it is. She Jeez, I'm just like thinking, well, once I get him fixed, he'll be a lot better. That's what I figured. So anyway, yes, I do have my phone now, so we can we will be doing this, yeah. So if you're thinking of anything to read between the lines, because there is a lot of things, my dad did not like, by the way, did not care for HP at all. Did not care for it at all. No. But suddenly when a lot of churches in the state of Michigan at that time were just saying how evil Harry Potter was, I'm like, dang, you'd think that they were like doing some bad, movie making, you know, even back then it was expensive. So I'm like thinking, okay, we didn't, I don't even remember seeing it on a big screen. I think I seen it on the little screen. So I'm like, at home. So yeah, yeah, I always seen it. Yeah, I didn't have the money. It was expensive back then. So anyway, my dad said, now that's funny. And we started talking about movies and stuff that churches would sit there and say stuff about it. My dad said, when you got a movie that's kind of like, if you got someone with a couple brain cells in any church, it doesn't matter what denomination, whatever it is, all right, there's someone who's smart enough to read between the lines and go, oh, do you think anyone's going to catch on? Do you think? I don't know. But yeah, and the one my dad made was the first, I say it was like 2001, the movie. My dad made a big deal. Yeah. I remember seeing that. That was a rated R movie. My dad wanted me to see it. There was nothing rated R for me to see. I mean, come on. And so I think it's because they use some cuss words. Boy, if they was just, not have to use the F word or whatever, it would have been fine. But no, they had, I don't know. That's just me, but I don't know the whole story why it was. But yeah, I seen it when it was brand new. I was a little kid. And I thought, wow, this person really, what do you think about it? And I was like, I don't know, Dad. I don't know if anyone's going to really catch on for a while now. He goes, yeah, I got the gist of it. But boy, did I forget real quick once you get sidetracked. Oh, look at that. It's a man with a penis. Ah. Yeah, okay. And you grow up and you go, well, you know what? In Vegas, you can buy a lot of things that take that you can charge. So it's all works and yep. I like putting some keef in the halfway point. This isn't the halfway I like, just to get just right. Yeah. I used to make them and we used to just mix the keef with the weed, but I like to put it in the middle and the end. It's like, ooh, yummy. So yeah, and it's weird because my dad was not gaga over many, I guess you would say filmmakers. He said some of them were pompous, or in other words, he told me pompous. He told my mother asshole. So you're talking to a kid. You're not going to go, oh yeah, they're assholes. No, they're pompous. Yeah. So yeah. No, I don't know if he met them or anything, or if he went somewhere and met somebody, but maybe he's heard about certain ones that were certain whatever. But always made me wonder if he was gnostics. It's knowledge. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Yeah, I always had that in the back of my mind. And I never asked my dad, you know. I should have said, hey, is this guy gnostics? Is this like what you always talk about? Yeah. And I think it is a little. Oh, I put too much in. I gotta have room for the keef. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Yeah, I used to make tons of these. Ooh. So I'm just getting the keef. I'm like, ooh, look at all this. Ooh. So yeah, there's so many things. Oh, hi, how are you? I'm just making a joint here. Anyway, we're talking about how the similarities with 2001 are be 2010 and 2001 through 2010, and then it would be Harry Potter, and you have the whole trilogy there, man. It's like, what don't you have it? It's like, geez, yeah, it's a lot. It's 8 movies. People don't realize how many. They go, oh, it's only a couple, right? And you're like, how much is it? Oh, what? I think the happiest one is when he first starts, like when the first movie is just absolutely adorable. When I bought that, I thought, oh, that is just so cute. And then it's got darker and darker as time went on. All right. And that's another thing where the similarities of the Odyssey and Harry Potter is it gets darker and darker as time goes on. It really does. They have that similarity. All right, let's get it. Boy, this shirt really looks good on me. Look at that, man. I looked at that. Oh, yeah, I'm going out that way. Ooh, look at that. I'm a fancy dancy. So yeah, that's another thing. And that's one thing that my son was saying. I didn't really like it. It just got darker and darker. Well, the first Space Odyssey they thought was kind of dark. You have an AI that kills everybody off. They just, and we don't need them some bitches. We'll just kill them up. Oh yeah, they're gone. What do you mean they're gone? And they're out there in space. You want to go get them? Jump out. I mean, you hear Hal going, you're going, oh shit. Yeah, your friends are out there. They're not in here making it all stinky. Got rid of them some bitches. If I had a thing to do, I would be like, have Hal the AI going, Dave, I don't like filthy places. And that was just dead meat. So I just pitched it. Boop. Oh, God. But think about it. Then you have Harry Potter. It just got darker and darker. They're having the Death Eaters, and the Death Eaters are like partying around, going, hey, we're not on Azkaban. We're going to go and scare the crap out of you and a muggle. I guess it would be like his cousin. So he had to save them both and get in trouble. And that was one of the other ones. And that's when it started really getting dark. And they talked, even in there, you felt that they were talking about, and you got to read between the lines of what they were talking with Umbridge and all the stuff that's going around. Are they still talking about that right now? Is stuff, I mean, that's another one. It made you think, wow, That's really interesting. And just like the Space Odyssey, it was very interesting. It started off bright and sunny and nice. And then, once you get to number two, you're going, oh my God, it just went from bright and sunny to, oh shit. Yeah. And you would think, and you got to think that when they made the other Space Odyssey, it was in the 70s, so it was the early 2000s. You got the other one going on, and I always thought, wow, okay. I mean, my dad said, read between the lines. He would always say, read between the lines. I'm not going to tell you. You figure it out. And then you have other movies that come out with a similar type of thing where they're getting darker, and then suddenly something happens. What happens? The regeneration or the rebirth of a whole new, being. That's what it looks like in the, Space Odyssey. A whole, 2010, you got the baby and the embryo. No, that's supposed to be us. The baby in the embryo is us. We are the baby in the embryo. That is a full meaning. That's what I came up with. If you want to come up, send me a nasty message. Not even if you want to have your hypotheses on the take of Harry Potter, and you can even use other movies. It's not just Harry Potter, for God's sakes. You can use other movies that have been even more than one, because Harry Potter had freaking eight. That was like a big freaking money maker. God dang, J.K. Rowling must have, she must have her own island. She's probably next door neighbors to Epstein Island. They have the cannons pointed toward him. Oh, don't let him. He's a naughty one. We won't let him in. So she has done other takes and stuff. And what I love is to hear about her ideas with mystical beasts in the 1920s. And they had different type of snake oil salesmen and other things. But what they also had is they would make up different, I guess it would be like religions and stuff like that. That was another thing that I thought was just neat, how it was like, wow, you're doing the 1920s, because they talk about giggle water and stuff. And I think that's funny. Anyway, we're back to Harry Potter and Space Odyssey. And in dealing with both the movies, Space Odyssey starts off bright and cheery. By the time you get to the second movie, you're thinking, wow, this is a whole lot of sucks, And then you're thinking, oh, it isn't. This is a whole lot of different. It just seemed like a whole lot of sucks until the whole end. And no, I'm not going to make you watch the movie. The whole end is they go into this like space warp thing where they are, I guess you would say, being sucked into this space warp or whatever. I just watched it last year, but yeah, it was like he was really old, and then it showed him as a baby in the bassinet, and then it showed how it did in the first movie with the embryo in you know covered around, and I'm thinking, wow, he became reborn. No, 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 he didn't get, he's not. It's like a whole different thing, like a whole different being, like he's a whole changed person, is what it is. Hi, how are you? We are talking about Space Odyssey and Harry Potter, what they had, the similarities. What was the story that they had said? And we are talking about that right now. And the whole similarities is pretty much in the lab, and the thing is, you go through it and it gets really. negative, and you're thinking, oh God, it can't get any better. It's, and then they have a mixed message, just like Harry Potter, where it goes through a lot of a lot of scenarios, a lot of stuff, a lot of back end stories, so you know what's going on, a lot of backflashing through the past, and then you get through to the last one or next to the last one, and you're going, oh my God, Harry Potter does die. But then what happens? And this is a spoiler. So if you don't watch Harry Potter and you want to this weekend, then spoiler alert, he comes back to life. How does he do it? I'm not going to say, but he does. And he's like the heroine. He, picks up his ass and does the same thing. Well, Dave, becomes a certain different heroine. And I guess you could say he becomes a whole new being. You, so I guess, they have different, how you can relate where you fight the evil. And that's what I think that Hal represented, was the evil. That was another thing. Hal represented the evil that was around. It was something, and then you had the evil, which was Voldemort and all his followers, right? And they had, let's just put it this, they weren't the nicest bunch of people you wanted to hang out with, They believed in mud blood, not pure blood. Now, kind of use your imagination on that. And being that it's Europe, you can. So when you have the negativities that he had in there, you think, wow, I didn't think that he would. And in the end, and again, spoiler alert, he's the one who ends up inheriting that wonderful, wand that Voldemort wanted so bad. He breaks it in half because it killed so many people, because they would get like, hey, look at this. I got the world's most powerful toy. Come over here, little champ. You're dead. Yeah. I'm just playing with it. So you get show offy. So it's the same thing what Dave did. He got tired of all the shit and all this stuff. He said, you know what? Whoever follows me, cool. He goes, turns into that baby thing, and he kind of like looks at you, kind of give you that knowing look, like, yeah, we're right on the cusp of that. There's so many things that are in so many movies now. They had, and it's kind of funny how it goes with it, but we will talk about another movie, and I want to actually watch some of this stuff and tell you which sections and stuff they are, because it's Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Oh my God. They have a thing of right, they don't call it heaven and hell, mind you. They call it, like, up here's considered heaven and hell is considered hell. Sabrina ends up making two of herself. Leaves one in hell to rule, because her father's the it's a okay. I'm spoiler alert. All right, her father wants her to run hell, and it's like this whole thing that they had, and she has two. And it's like, it's sad how it ends. I can't put how it ends, but God Lord, it was I just can't see the end anymore. It's just too sad how they made it end. But yeah, they had that. I thought that was really weird. They never really talk about heaven per se. Not even, it's just weird how they put everything. But yeah, I thought that was strange. So anyway, there's so many other things I've seen when you start putting things together and you're going, wow, that seems almost like this and that seems almost like that. Wow. I mean, there's so many different one plus ultra universe. Hello. Oh, oh. More or less, we're talking about the similarities of certain movies, like the movie 2010 and uh 2001. Yeah, hi. 2010, 2001. What was it? And then I was saying how I thought that, yeah, yeah, yeah. But I don't think that that's where I think it wouldn't be. I think that it has a different meaning to that. Just, I don't know. At least it's a little bit happier with Harry Potter because I was talking about how that movie and Harry Potter were almost similar, where things have changed forever, where whatever had happened, they stated it could be like you said, where the world will end, or is it just a different form of the earth that's going to, come about? Yeah. So yeah, I think it's where the world will end. So let's smoke a little weed. Yep, I'm proud of myself. I burned 550 calories. Woo! Oh, I'm sure it would.
Sorry, I'm having trouble understanding right now. Please try a little later.
Okay. You're right. Yeah, I was so happy to get my exercise done, and then I cleaned my bathroom and I took care of a bill. I'm like, yay. Woohoo. So where are you from, One Plus Ultra Universe? Yeah, yeah. Well, and I also got my hair. I needed my hair cut and a nice haircut. Just trim too. I could see my eyebrows again. Oh, well, I'm from, and this show is Omega Forever Pahrump. I'm from Pahrump, Nevada. That's about on the outskirts of Las Vegas. It's an hour. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's just a nice trim. Because my hair was looking bad. I'd have spread them apart and look and dry. God dang. You know, I'm just got to spread them apart and dry. I'm getting there. Reno 911. If they paid me enough, I would go on there. They'd have to pay me a lot. I'm the snake lady. That's right. Come over here. Yeah, I as if you want to talk about a different subject, I just thought that was, something different, but there's a lot of weird stuff that I normally don't see. I have been watching, like, not real old stuff, but we're talking some of the stuff I'm going, wow. And um I've been thinking, wow, I didn't catch that before. Huh. We get that wow moment. Oh yeah, that show is always funny. The men would be wearing these super shorts and you'd be going, "Oh boy." Yeah. Oh, you're interested in my perspective? I think that gives a perspective that civilization didn't go down in hell, that it's just changed a different form. That's what I think it did. It changed a whole different form. And I think that's what the meaning is and where it comes where here I think Harry Potter when he came back, he had a little more, like swagger to his step, unless, he went and found the good luck elixir or whatever. But boy, he pretty, it seemed very well done in the end. I mean, I think that J.K. Rowling got her whole message out. But you know what's going on now? They're redoing Harry Potter with home box office. And I'm like, really? There's nothing new for you to come up with? Oh, there's 8 of them. There's 8 Harry Potters. It's a long, like, all right, one Harry Potter a week, because that's a long, I mean, it's over an hour. It's hard for me to stay still. I got to rewatch it now. Yeah, that's a lot of hate. Like I said, they made a lot of money. Harry Potter, man, is a gazillionaire. That writer is a gazillionaire. I'll give you the plot, the one I'm talking about. A young boy learns that he is actually special. He's a wizard. And his parents are killed off by some unknown. It's like they always talk, by a evil person. And through the books, you find out later on that, of course, Harry Potter's the chosen one, in which this woman who can't do a card reading to save her anything, and pretty well, he's like the chosen one, almost like a Jesus thing, if you think about it. Like the chosen one, like, Jesus. And then you got, 2001. Well, you got 2010. You got somebody who feels like they're the chosen one, Dave. all about the same thing, just differently written and differently expelled through. And then you have, the good and evil fighting. You got Voldemort, who finally gets where he's fighting Harry Potter. And that's in the last, I would say, him and Harry Potter are fighting in the last two movies, but I can't say pretty well, I think he dies in a cliffhanger. And then when they bring out the Deathly Hollows, I think it was like the way he died. I don't know if it was in a cliffhanger. No, it was he died in the last movie, or was it a cliffhanger? I don't know. See, that's how often I even pay attention. But yeah, he dies and then he comes back. Oh gosh, where did that come from? Oh, I don't know. Jesus? Is it Jesus? We got Jesus and he died and come right back. It's just, Harry Potter did a whole lot faster. And Harry Potter had somebody who helped him, who was what? Malfoy's mom. Yeah. Oh, it makes you think though. Wow, I mean, it did me. I was like, huh, I wonder, you know, all these movies that have been coming out, like after 2001, how many people have seen, Space Odyssey? How many? I'm sure there's a lot of people who have seen Space Odyssey and they read between the lines and they're like, oh, I wonder if I can have something comparable. And maybe they could piss off a lot of the religions. Oh, and they did. And so did Harry Potter, if I remember correctly. It wasn't just Catholic. Oh, God, no. It went through all the religions because you got to hear it on the news. I think a lot of the movies, if they want to get a certain, I guess you say, a certain feeling towards the way mankind's going, right now. And think about it. The Space Odyssey had AI, and Harry Potter had, Voldemort, evil. Uh, the AI, how? He was evil. What did he do? He went and, pretty much he killed off all the people that were sleeping. He just like booted them out and, yeah, they're gone. They're gone. So that was the evil. So it's like different type of evils and stuff. I just think, I mean, I'm just putting it out there. I'm not making, just something fun to talk about. Yeah. Oh, I love that. I thought that was funny. I was there at church. We sitting in the last pew, and then because my son didn't want to go, and I'm like, crap, I gotta go myself. I go myself. Well, I got entertainment that day. Woo! Yeah, I didn't eat a whole bunch of gummies. No, I was getting in. I was looking, going, what? Oh my God. I was texting my dad. Yeah, I'm going to do some sinful shit. Send. Do, 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 do. Of course, it wasn't. I would text my dad. Yeah. What are you going to do? I'm going to go get a Harry Potter book. He goes, hey, my church said the same thing. And I said, so did you go get a Harry Potter book? He goes, oh yeah, I'm reading the second. Ah, geez, Dad. He beat me to it. His church said the same thing, so he was getting curious. He was like, why are the churches just banning this? It's not like they're going, okay, all right, we got the recipe from 12th century French witches. Okay, so let's look, and then we even got some 14th century. It's just wonderful. You just gotta see it. We're just going to take all this stuff from these two books and just throw it in Harry Potter. No, there's nothing like that. And you know, most of the people who started reading Harry Potter really never returned to the churches. Did they find themselves? Did they just the Harry Potter series? Did they join a coven and they get the miracle of life? I mean, I thought it was hilarious. It was through a lot of different religions, and I thought it was wow. I mean, you're not putting real recipes out. Yeah. Oh, that's why I bought Pokemon too. My son can go, oh, let's go get it. And the guy goes, we can't allow Pokemon in the school. I go, yeah, it's because you're pussies. I go, give it to me, Devin. And, I had to pick it up from school. And I'm like, picking up contraband. The guy's acting like it's dirty. And I go, really? You think it's dirty? Oh, it's contraband. And I go, Pokemon. And I'm like, dude, it means pocket monster, but I didn't want to tell the guy because, you know, yep, I know. I took it. Oh, I love my Pokemon. Yeah, I used to have all the little Pokemon and on my thing to pick up my kid. No, I didn't give a flying fuck about Pokemon, but they made such a huge, yeah. Protect the weird pastor. Oh, you want to hear what my son's school did that I pulled him out of? Oh, they were holding, it was just very much to that point where I was like, it was kind of political. And I said, that church political, nah. And that's when I pulled my son out. And the pastor wanted to know, his wife wanted to know why. And I told her, I said, you crossed the line. In other words, you jumped the shark. That was it. You jumped it. You know, you got to put boundaries. Oh, yeah. So, yeah. Anyway, we are talking about movies that I think that are, well, they make you think. I mean, I would say as you really gotta look at Kubrick, just kind of look at it in a slow way, or more or less watch it when you smoke a lot of weed. I'm joking. When you watch it with an open mind, is what I'm saying. Don't have set barriers when you watch what he makes, because you got to understand, The Shining was made just right after the moon landing. Yeah, I'm just putting it out there. My dad said the same thing. He goes, look at that, and I'm like, okay, Dad. But my dad made a big deal. I seen 2001. And they made a big deal. We gotta make it rated R because they see some naughty words. Like I haven't heard my grandfather hit his finger or do something and say a couple naughty words and then walk around. So you're not repeating that. What do you think? I'm gonna go up to my grandmother? Hey, Grandma, you want to know what Grandpa said? Just like my brother used to do. Oh, you are so dummy. You're going, oh, yeah. Whack, whack, whack. I used to tell my brother, go tell grandma what grandpa said. God dang, he really was not the brightest one. Oh, I had so. No, I was not the sweetheart. Okay. Yeah, my brother did go to my grandmother and repeat those words. And yes, I stood back going, I was a devil of a child. Oh my God. They couldn't keep me. I knew how to get out of locked rooms and everything. Oh, no problem with a lot of the locked rooms, especially if they had the little hole thing and you just get like a, toothpick. All you do is you take a toothpick with you, you just pop that bad boy. Yeah, I was on pretty much no one watched me. But yeah, we're talking about the similarities about a lot of movies that I watched and I went, hmm, huh. And it's not just Harry Potter, but Harry Potter got me to the point where my, I had some friends of mine that made me stop doing a lot of stuff that I probably would have been excommunicated. I was going to make a fake recipe book or fake witches book, and say, hey, maybe you should just say, I was going to put all kinds of stuff, but nah, I stopped. Yeah. And yes, I used to live next to some woman that was really into religion. I think she had the hots for Jesus Christ. I'm not pulling no punches, but I really think that woman had a thing for Jesus Christ. But made her son dress up one of the popes. I don't know which one. She was so proud. When he acted up and got in trouble for in the church while wearing the Pope costume, I said, how do you demote him? I'm sorry. She made him look like a pope and everything. Oh Lord, she goes, I want him to be a pope. And I'm thinking, they gotta be a whole lot smarter than that. Trust me. I had to watch him. He took a dare and he was eating like those live fish that you get from those church fairs because I so happened to be across the church from the church. Oh yeah. You see him act like a little dingling. And I was like, oh yeah. And then they moved somewhere else because I lost the house because she couldn't stop shopping. He had 3, 4, I don't know. He had a lot of jobs. I don't work. I don't go to the gym either, but I pray to God. I'm going to go pray to God. We're going to talk about when I moved next door to a real crazy woman. Anyway, I'm going to let you guys go. I will be on tomorrow at 7. So you guys have a wonderful evening. I don't know what I am going to talk about. If you guys want to, yeah, she was married. She was married. Oh yeah. You're welcome. I'll be on tomorrow at 7. You, excuse me, you have a great night too. I just, I guess you could say sometimes when you watch stuff and you're like, my dad made such a big deal and I just wanted it. Yeah, now I figured it out. Yeah. Oh, very short. Well, I'm been on here for an hour talking about it, but thank you. Very short. It's a hour long. Yeah. Oh yeah, a rewatch. Tomorrow I'll be on, and then I got to figure out because I got to get somebody to be my camera person because I want to because I paid my phone bill. Yay me! Yeah, I want to use this, and I have two payments that can be secured. So yeah, see how much I can do on this. So yeah. So as soon as I find out when I could get a person who can hold my phone, my camera, that's what I'm going to talk to my son. uh, uh, well, he's been on TikTok. How do you know he's your age? Oh, yeah. Okay. Wow. Yeah. Well, he's on TikTok on Demon. Let me find him. I got him on TikTok. He on Ticker Talk.
Dang, sweet cheeks. Roses are red, violets are fine. You be the 6, I'll be the 9.
I like when those women yell stuff at men.
Are you a parking ticket? Because you got fine written all over.
Are you a parking ticket?
Damn, sweet cheeks, it's cold outside. Y'all got some wood from my car?
Good. Here I'm trying to find let's look up. No, no. Oh, crap. Let me see profile. Yeah. Find friends. Okay, my son's thing is on Hellscape DMN. Here, I'll put what he's on TikTok. That's what he is. Yep. That's my boy. He's a good kid too. That's what he's on. Yeah. He's my boy. He said, he was telling me, he goes, Mom, I don't know what's going on with your memory and stuff. And then we were talking about this a while back. I went to some places thinking I left it there. No, the damn thing went between there. And the only reason why I finally was sitting there going, God, I can't afford to get another one. I'm just like, about out with my other ones. So I happened to see just this little thing poking out because I have black carpeting in my Jeep, and I go and pull up, boom, just lucky because it was way down deep. My son goes, man, you need to have a beeper on that sucker. They should have it where you can go, oh, where is it? Like clap. You clap 3 times. No problem. So he said, yeah, I feel bad about saying that. I go, yeah, God dang. Here I go, look between the seat after I already burned up some gas, And by the way, our gas is burning up faster. I'm buying the cheap stuff, but it usually is, yeah, this stuff's like, I put in $60 of gas and I need to put 10 more in to make it Yeah, I'm like, oh, I'll just wait until next, payday. Yeah. So I'll see you guys tomorrow at 7. So yeah, I don't know if my son's making any new videos or anything, but check him out. And I'll be here tomorrow at 7. I'll figure out what I'm going to talk about. So, all right. That's it.